Where the land holds still, where the sky feels close enough to seal. Stone and soil, a life laid down, every step already mapped in ground. They spoke of waves like they were ghosts of something vast beyond the coast, a line no man had ever crossed, a hunger none could name the cost. But the wind came through the fields at night, carrying something it couldn't hide. Not a voice, not a sound, still it pulled him outward. The tide knows your name, though you've never seen its face. It's been calling through the dark, through the marrow, through the heart. The tide knows your name, even buried under stone. You can stand where you were born, still it claims you as its own. He would stand where the earth meets edge, where the ground gives way instead, staring out at a silver line that bent the shape of his own mind. Old men wonder what it takes, said the sea is where men break, said the gods don't guard that place, only death that leaves no trace. But the horizon would not stay still, it moved each time he tried to will. Not a step, not a sign, still it drew him further. The tide knows your name, though you've never seen its face. It's been calling through the dark, through the marrow, through the heart. The tide knows your name, even buried under stone. You can stand where you were born, still it claims you as its own. Hey, 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 hey. They built their lives on steady ground, on things that stayed, on things that bound. But something waits where none return, and something in him had to learn. Not every road is meant to keep, not every promise meant to sleep. There is a line no wall can hold, there is a pull that won't be told. The tide knows your name before you ever learn to speak. In the silence of your blood, in the doubt you couldn't keep. The tide knows your name, and it will not let you stay. You can turn from what you are, but it calls you anyway. I was told they speak in fire, in the strike, in the storm, in the choir. But I have never seen the sky split open, never heard a word when the ground was broken. So I learned to listen where no one does, in the space between breath and blood, call a name, still something stays when everything else fades. I heard them in the silence, not in thunder, not in flame, not in crowns or broken bodies, not in victory or shame. I heard them in the silence when no one else would go. If they speak at all, it's softer than we know. They say kneel and you will be seen. They say faith must be loud, must be clean. But I have watched the faithful fall while doubt stood quiet through it all. So I kept my voice low in the dark, let no God claim every part. If they want me, they will find what I don't give to the blind. No fire, no sign, no hand inside mine. Still something stays that I can't turn away. I heard them in the silence, not in thunder, not in flame, not in crowns or broken bodies, not in victory or shame. I heard them in the silence when no one else would go. If they speak at all, it's softer than we know. Hey ya, 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 hey ya. Maybe they never chose a side, maybe they never spoke at all. Maybe we built their names from fear just to make sense of the fall. Or maybe they wait when no one looks, not in the blade, not in the books, but in the space we try to fill and fail to bend to our will. I hear them in the silence when the world begins to thin, not above or far beyond, but somewhere deep within. I hear them in the silence, and I don't know what is true. If the gods are only echoes, then the voice might just be hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya.
Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. You learn to stand where others stay, to hold your tongue, to keep your place, to bow your head when names were called, to wear the weight, to carry all. They drew the line, you walked it straight, told you this was what it takes. But something turned beneath your skin, a restless heat that wouldn't end. Not taught, not shown, it lived there on its own. No word, no sign, still it crossed the line. You were not born to kneel, not built to break or bend. There's a fire in the bone that won't answer to them. You were not born to kneel, even if you try. There's a flame you can't bury, no matter how deep you hide. You watch them take what they could claim, call it right, call it name, call it will of something high, while men like you were told comply. But every time you bit it down, it only spread, it only found a deeper place, a stronger hold, a truth that would not do as told. No oath, no chain could quiet what remained. No fear, no cost could make you turn it off. You were not born to kneel, not built to break or bend. There's a fire in the bone that won't answer to them. You were not born to kneel, even if you try. There's a flame you can't bury, no matter how deep you hide. Say the fault was always in you. Say the line was never crossed. Say the cost is what you lost. But the fire does not ask for names, does not bow and does not wait. It doesn't care who holds the crown, it only wants to rise or break. You were not born to kneel, not to live and disappear. There's a fire in the bone and it's louder every year. You were not born to kneel, even if it tears you through. There's a flame that keeps on speaking and it's stronger now in you. They placed it in my hands, not mine. Not earning fire, but drawn by line. A name, a seed, a weight to bear. A gaze I feel, but do not share. They speak as if I chose this role, as if I asked to hold it whole. But power comes without a sound. It settles in and locks you down. No shout, no call, just shadows on the wall. No blade, no wall, still it demands more. A crown weighs more in silence than it ever did in war. No clash, no cry, just a constant pull for more. A crown weighs more in silence. Every breath becomes a cost. You don't see what you've become until you see what you've lost. I feel it shift in every choice, in every pause, in every voice. They wait for something firm and clear, but doubt is all that lingers here. The lines between belief and need start to blur in word and deed. I bend the truth to hold the shape of something I can't quite escape. No right, no wrong, just what must carry on. No clean, no pure, only what will endure. A crown weighs more in silence than it ever did in war. No clash, no cry, just a constant pull for more. A crown weighs more in silence. Every breath becomes a cost. You don't see what you've become until you see what you've lost. I speak and men begin to move. I doubt and still they call it truth. I stand and something shifts below. Oh wait, I never chose to know. Is this the will I used to trust, or something shaped from fear and dust? If I must carry what they need, how much of me is left to lead? A crown weighs more in silence than any blade against the bone. No war could ever break a man the way he breaks alone. A crown weighs more in silence. Every step becomes a line between the man I used to be and what I've left behind. They gathered where the lines were drawn, where truth is fixed and doubt is gone. Each word delivered clean and sharp, a steady voice, a certain heart. He spoke of order, spoke of right, turned fear into a guiding light, gave form to things they could not name, and tied it all to one clear claim. No break, no seam, just one unbroken theme. No space, no air for anything unclear. Belief bends to the hand that holds it, shaped into whatever they need. Turn into reason, turn into warning, turn into something to lead. Belief bends to the hand that holds it, not what it was when it began. It becomes what keeps them moving, it becomes what keeps command. They listen like it filled a void, like something empty was employed. A simple frame, a single way to keep the questions held at bay. And those who saw the cracks beneath learned quickly when to bite their teeth. A glance, a pause, a step too wide was all it took to be denied. No turn, no drift, no room to question it. No word, no sound that pulls the structure down. Belief bends to the hand that holds it, shaped into whatever they need. Turn into reason, turn into warning, turn into something to lead. Belief bends to the hand that holds it, not what it was when it began. It becomes what keeps them moving, it becomes what keeps command. Hey. the same white sky, learn the same truths we'd live and die by. Share the ground, the weight, the name, swore the line would never change. I knew your step before you moved, knew the things you'd never prove. There was no edge, no space between what you were and what I'd seen. We carried more than what we said, more than notes we thought we meant. There were cracks we let pass through, things we never thought to choose. I saw it shift before it broke, and every word you never spoke. The line we thought would always stay was already giving way. No clear divide, just something turning inside. No sudden break, just more than we could take. We bleed the same, but not for each other.
Not anymore, not like before.
The ground is split, the bond is severed,
And we don't know what we're fighting for.
we bleed the same, but not for each other.
Same blood, different cause.
There's no clean line between betrayal.
Just a moment where it was. It changed the shape of what was true, turned it into something new. Called it right, called it need, but I could see what it would lead. Every step you took away pulled the rest of us astray. Not by force, not by hand, just a shift I couldn't stand.
You held to something I outgrew, a version I no longer knew. You call it loss, I call it sight, a different way to see what's right. What you see is turning back, I see is leaving what we lack. There's no return to what we were, only what we now prefer.
No right, no wrong, just where we don't belong.
No peace, no end, just where we cannot bend. We bleed the same,
But not for each other, not anymore, not like before.
the ground is split, the bond is severed,
And we don't know what we're fighting for.
we bleed the same, but not for each other.
Same blood, different cause.
There's no clean line between betrayal.
Just a moment where it was. If I stand, you call it pride. If I leave,
You call it lie.
if you change, then what remains?
If I stay, I wear your chains. We were never meant to split, but something made a choice for us.
Not a blade, not a war.
Just a line we cross. We bleed the same, but not for each other.
Not anymore, it's done.
What we carry turned against us.
What we were has come undone.
We bleed the same, but not for each other.
No way to trace the start.
There's no victory in this ending,
Just the breaking of apart. Hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah.
It started with a single line, a reason shaped to hold the time, a claim that felt too strong to break, a truth no one would dare to shake. They carried it from word to flame, gave it weight, gave it a name.
until it grew beyond their hands and took a form they couldn't stand. No pause, no doubt, no way to turn it out. No edge, no end, just something they defend. We burn what we came to claim, turned it into ash and blame, held it high, then watched it fall till nothing answered us at all. We burn what we came to claim, called it right, called it change, but when the fire cleared the ground, there was nothing left we found. The streets gave way without a sound. Familiar shapes broke down to ground. No mark remained of what was known, just empty space where it had grown. They stood inside what they had made, a hollow frame, a shifting shade. No voice to say it went too far, no way to tell what they now are. No clean divide, no place to set aside, no truth, no lie, just watching it collapse inside. We burn what we came to claim, turned it into ash and blame, held it high, then watched it fall till nothing answered us at all. We burn what we came to claim, called it right, called it change, but when the fire cleared the ground, there was nothing left we found. Hey ya, 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 hey ya. It was a loss we meant to make, not something we could not replace, but every step to hold the line only fed what took its time. No one stopped, no one turned, no one saw how far it burned. Not a plan, not a choice, just the weight of every voice. We burn what we came to claim, now there's no one left to blame. What we built to give us ground was the thing that tore it down. We burn what we came to claim, and we cannot name the cost. There's no victory in what remains, only knowing what we lost. Hey ya, 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 I reached the edge I used to fear, thought something vast would meet me here. A sign, a shift, a final proof to settle what I once called truth. But all I found was open space, no mark, no voice, no hidden face, just endless pool and steady breath, a quiet line that holds no depth. No hand, no claim, no one to know my name, no chosen line, no reason, no design. The sea carries on, not just the chosen, no single path, no hand that guides. It takes the weight of every story and leaves no mark of wrong or right. The sea carries on, not just the chosen, no voice to lift, no voice to deny. What I believed was meant for someone was never meant for me or I thought the world would split in two, is true between the ones who stand above and those who fall without their love. But standing here, there's no divide, no higher ground, no safer side, just shifting ground beneath it all. No rise that doesn't lead to fall, no right, no wrong, no place that I belong, no clear design, just water without line. The sea carries all, not just the chosen. No single path, no hand that guides. It takes the weight of every story and leaves no mark of wrong or right. The sea carries all, not just the chosen. No voice to lift, no voice to deny. What I believed was meant for someone was never meant for me or I. I gave it shape, I gave it name. I thought it worked, I thought it stayed. But every line I tried to hold was just a story I was told. No chosen few, no sacred claim, no final truth to bear the blame. Just what we build and what we break and what we're willing to remake. The sea carries all, not just the chosen, and I am no different than the rest. No higher call, no deeper meaning, just what I carry in my chest. The sea carries all, not just the chosen, and I can return to what I knew. There's no one left to give me answers, so I decide what I hold true.
Gave them names to hold the sky, to draw a line for wrong and right, to make the shifting ground stand still, to shape the world to something real. We built them high above our doubt, so we would never live without a reason for the things we face, a steady hand, a final place. But every sign we thought we saw was shaped by what we needed more. Every truth we held as known was something we had built alone. What if the gods are watching? Nothing, no voice beyond, no guiding hand, no higher call to give it meaning, no greater hidden plan. What if the gods are watching? Nothing, and never were to start. Then every line we thought was written by our hearts. We carried faith like it was weight, like something we could not escape. But standing where it all falls through, I see how much we said was true. Not lies, not wrong, not empty claims, but things we made to hold the frame, to give the chaos shape and end, to make it something we could stand. No voice above, no proof of greater love, no chosen few, just what we say is true. What if the gods are watching nothing? No voice beyond, no guiding hand, no higher call to give it meaning, no greater hidden plan. What if the gods are watching nothing and never were to start? Then every line we thought was written by our hearts. If nothing waits beyond the sky, then what have we been living by? If no one stands to judge or see, then what decides what we should be? Is all we built just fear and need, a way to justify the deed? Or is the way we thought was theirs just something we were meant to bear? What if the gods are watching nothing, and all we have is what we choose? No final word, no perfect answer, no way to shift the truth we are. What if the gods are watching nothing? Then every cost is ours to claim. No higher hand to take the burden, no one else to take the blame. We thought the weight would break away if we could face it, if we stayed, if we could reach some final line and leave the rest of it behind. But every step that brought us here carried more than we made clear. Not just the things we chose to be, but all we tried not to see. No clean release, no end to what we keep, no final shore that asks for nothing more. We are what remains after all we tried to change, after every truth we bent, after every name we gave. We are what remains, not the fire, not the crown, but the weight we carry forward when everything falls down. The sea did not erase the past, it only showed how long it lasts. The things we thought we left behind were never lost, just out of sight. And all the lines we crossed before are written deeper than the shore. Not in the ground, not in the sky, but in the way
try. No voice above, no proof of what we were, no hand to guide, only what stays inside. We are what remains. After all we tried to change, after every truth we bent, after every name we gave, we are what remains. Not the fire, not the crown, but the weight we carry forward when everything falls down. We held belief like it was stone, like something fixed, like something known. But every time we shaped its form, it changed to meet a different storm. We called it fate, we called it will, we called it something greater still. But in the end it comes back through as something we decide to do. We are what remains when the gods no longer speak, when the silence answers louder than the faith we try to keep. We are what remains when there's nothing left to claim, no one else to bear the burden, no one else to take the blame. We are what remains, and the truth we tried to find was never waiting in the distance. It was always in our hands.